What's going on, guys? It is the SMT. I hope you all are having a good evening. Just opening the podcast now. I hope you guys are doing well and everything is solid on your end. If you guys could let me know how the audio is feeding, it should be okay. I checked everything. Everything seems to be okay. There will be no video on tonight's podcast. It's just going to be audio only. Trying something new, trying something different. If you guys could let me know how the audio is in the live chat. Be looking for your feedback. Be looking for your comments. I'll be looking for, the ongoing banter in the live chat. So I do want to welcome you guys. I'm glad you could make it here tonight. Thank you for being here again. I want to give a big shout out to the newest patron over on the Patreon. We have Ciova, a friend of mine, a fellow YouTube creator who I've been watching his videos for a while now. Excellent live streams, lots of interesting topics on the social side of things, as well as technology, ROG phone coverage. He does quite a bit there. So check out the letter C space OVA. Very nice fellow that is a solid creator, does live streams, does all types of coverage on devices and tech, and covers some social topics as well. Anyways, time for roll call. We got Pete. Pete's in the house. Good to have you on, sir. Timothy's in the house. Good to have you on as well. Rafi, he's got moderating duties tonight. He's got the big wrench. Thanks for being here, Raf. Pete, I hope your headache goes away, man. Hit the like button on your way, and that would be awesome. Thank you guys for being here again. I got 29 in the live. I'm sure there'll be more to come. We'll get to going on the topics tonight for sure. John, he's got his wrench already. That smashing head of hair right there. Glad you could be here, sir. Thank you for stopping by. Pete's eyes are recovering. That's always fun. Yeah, no video today, John. We're going to go straight up audio. Videos and F. Well, as long as the audio is good. Jar Cohen, good to have you on, sir. Audio on point. Thank you, Sean. Good to have you on. Glad you could be here tonight. Want video? Good audio quality, actually. Awesome. Thanks for being here, John. Much appreciated. Jamaal, good to have you on, sir. Thanks for stopping by. What's up, Hometown Custom PC? Got your comment there in the newest upload video. Saw you there. The beard? I don't know. I'm trying just the audio side tonight. We'll see how this goes. What's going on, Sean? Good to see you. Gutsy, huh? All right. Devin, good to have you on. Erica Grant's in the house. John Phillips, worker employee for Sprint. I hope this merger goes through. Me too. Max Findley's in the house. Should join audio only too. Pete, if you want, I could send you the invite. Just let me know. Always welcome to join in here. Fablet Guru here. Good to have you on. Nintendo 504 is in the house. Benny D is in the house. Fablet Guru is in the house. Good to have you on, guys. John, good to have you on as well. MT Houston TX is in the house. Good to have you on, sir. Thanks for stopping by. Video quality is really good. Video quality is really good. Keith, what's going on? Audio, okay. Pic doesn't look like you. Strange. It shouldn't. Yeah, it definitely shouldn't. What's up, Miku? ACDC is here. John Mooser Joe. Yeah, man, he's got that hair going. What's up, Mikey Tech Review? I mean, it is a podcast. I usually do video, but, do they want my... Pete's got one heck of a beard. Why not? All right, I'm catching up. Tech Love Mama, good to see you on. Thanks for stopping by. AT&T's network plan for 2020. We could talk about that tonight for sure. I do have something I kind of want to introduce the podcast with, and then we can get to going. Tech Twan B, good to see you on. We're going to talk T-Mobile Sprint merger. We've got states potentially flip-flopping. We have AT&T mulling over a potential TV merger. That one is complicated. That one is the That's a big piece from today's video. So I you know what? If things don't work out with just the podcast, I'll go back to video. It doesn't matter to me. But let's give it a shot this time around. Let's see how this goes. Wow, you guys are just all about the video portion. I was like legit trying to turn this into a podcast. Wasn't going to focus on the video part, but looks like you guys are pretty disgruntled by the whole ordeal. All right, so anyways, let me get into the topic today, and then I'll open up the discussion to you guys. I'll kind of get your take on everything. I'll look to your discussion points, how you guys feel about it, how you think it's going to proceed, and stuff like that. So anything that you guys mention between now and the time I'm done, I might not be able to get to. So moderators, if there's a super chat, if there's any important, messages or anything that I should be getting, by all means, keep me, let me know, and after I'm done, and then we can get to it. So, all right, the topic from today's video. When I got news of this, when I saw the story and I was looking at it, and I built the script for the video and everything, I had a lot of reservations. 44 in the live chat. Thank you guys for being here. Please like this video on your way in. So I had my reservations about this story. AT&T could be looking to sell DirecTV. That was the old story. This is a story that dates back, I don't know, a few weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. And the fact that they want to sell DirecTV is not surprising. The thing about them trying to sell DirecTV actually makes sense. They bought them in 2015. It hasn't really panned out. The profitability has not been there. The numbers are not there. They've tried to rebrand kind of the way they do things, in terms of the app and doing things with DirecTV Now and streaming and stuff like that. And that makes total sense. You have to adjust with the times. Everything seems to be going streaming. Perfectly good there. Makes total sense. The problem is the satellite TV business as a whole is essentially failing. It's not what it used to be. The money's not there. The operational cost to run a satellite business, TV through satellite, it's just not profitable enough, and you can't charge the prices for that type of TV service to compete with things like Hulu Live and Netflix and all these other, Amazon Prime. There's tons of streaming options. Sling TV, $25-$35 gets you in a Slim TV package that probably gives you what you need. So that being said, they had to kind of redo things with DirecTV. Well, at the same time, Dish Network's TV satellite business is also kind of in the pits, and they're not really doing anything either. All they're really doing is they're hemorrhaging customers, and that's what seems to be the trend in satellite TV. So because of this, it makes total sense that AT&T wants to shake things up and AT&T wants to make a move. So the speculation has been that AT&T wants to get rid of DirecTV. They want to just off it. And of course, operating a business that is not profitable is not AT&T's forte. They obviously want to either make money off of the platform or get rid of it. Makes total sense. So to the current story, all that was the backstory. Here's today's story, or for this podcast purposes. You have AT&T, which owns and controls DirecTV. DirecTV could potentially be in a merger situation with Dish. Now, AT&T owning DirecTV, that was cleared in 2015. That was okay. No antitrust, apparently. All was well. It was cleared. Now things get kind of tricky. If AT&T owns DirecTV and DirecTV is merged with Dish, Dish is the potential fourth carrier that's being created out of the T-Mobile and Sprint merger. So what happens there is AT&T would essentially be a majority owner of Dish, because Dish would be merging with DirecTV, and DirecTV is owned by AT&T. So I don't know how AT&T plans on pulling this off. I don't know what the likelihood is. It just doesn't seem to make sense from an antitrust standpoint. Because the companies that are involved in trying to broker this deal, I believe it's Apollo something. I forget the name of the company that's involved here. They're really looking into this. Apollo Global Management is the world's largest private equity fund. They're worth $250 billion in terms of assets. This is getting pretty serious. This is not conjecture. There are legitimate talks, and there is a legitimate chance that this is going to be approached. A lot of people, when I dropped the video in the comment section, were saying, I don't believe this rumor. This is not rumor. This is being reported by financial firms, Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg. Like, this is not a joke. A lot of information on the internet can be questioned, and you look for validation, and you want credible resources and sources. I understand that. There's nothing that's not credible about this. So this goes to show you that AT&T, the company that we all know, is obviously they're a merger monster. They're always looking to acquire, merge. They're always looking to consume smaller companies with one goal: increase their market share, corner the market to monopolize. This has been going on for over a century. And the reason I say over a century is because AT&T's history with the Bell companies goes back to the 1800s. I want to give a big shout out to the SMT's History of AT&T video. Check that out. It's in the video archive. It would be nice if maybe a moderator could pull that up and put a link in the live chat. AT&T is Thanos. I've said this dozens of times. AT&T is Thanos, and the reason I say AT&T is Thanos wanted all of the Infinity Stones, and Thanos wanted to get rid of half of the universe, all living things, right? So the story goes, he obtains all those Infinity Stones, he puts them into a gauntlet, he snaps his finger, and boom, half of the life in the universe is gone and dusted. That's what AT&T wants to do all the time. They want to consume all competition and then corner the market so they're the only game in town. Whether it's TV, or it's a streaming service, or it's long distance calling going back 100 years, or it's wireless, or it's 5G up and coming, which again is one of the reasons why we want the merger. We want competition in LTE and 5G, and this makes T-Mobile a more viable player and competitor. So why exactly would Dish want to get involved? Dish has always been the type of company that wants to get a buyout. They would have sold their spectrum if they would have got the right money for it. When you own spectrum, wireless spectrum, it's valuable, and companies are paying top dollar for it. You could see what these auctions go for. I mean, T-Mobile and AT&T both spent over $900 million at the last auction. Yeah, AT&T is scum when it comes to their business practices, and the simple fact that AT&T doesn't want to compete. You guys know there's lots of different ways to make money, and there's lots of different approaches to business. The best business practices for customers is competition. That's what we want. We want a market where there's competitors. They're all viable. They all offer value. They all offer, pricing advantages and perks and all that benefits. AT&T has been working hard to kill competition, consume smaller competitors before they get large, take whatever they have in terms of market share, absorb that, so they could charge whatever they want to the customers they have and they take. So why would Dish agree to this? Well, this makes total sense. Dish needs money. If they become a component of AT&T and they become profitable in this, thanks, Rafi. Appreciate you putting up the link for the history of AT&T. Check it out, guys. It's a great video. Maybe watch it after the podcast. It really is amazing. They've always had this approach: consume, 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 buy, merge, acquire. They've always done this. They did it with regional carriers. They did it when they tried to acquire T-Mobile in 2011, and that failed merger. It's been going on for decades. It's been going on for over a century. They don't want any competition whenever they're in certain markets. So there are some companies that welcome competition and will compete for customers. And then there's AT&T, who just wants to consume companies and take their customers so they could charge whatever they want. And Dish would probably be willing to do this because of how horrible their business has become when it comes to satellite TV. I just don't know how this works with Dish potentially becoming the next wireless carrier. Now, if Dish pulls this off, if this somehow happens, maybe it changes the trajectory of the fourth carrier. Maybe Dish has to sell out. The FCC kind of abandons their stranglehold on what Dish has to do with their network, yada, yada, yada. Maybe AT&T wants Dish's spectrum, the mid-band, the low-band. I don't know. There's so much we don't know, right? How would this play out? I don't see this making its way through any type of regulatory process. Customers would be hurt by this in so many ways. Well, at least satellite customers would be hurt for sure. I don't know about wireless. I don't know how this plays out. I think in wireless, this can't happen. There's just no way. I mean, what is Dish's value? What's their worth? What is AT&T willing to pay for them, essentially? You know, because you think about it, it's a merger, but it's more of an acquisition than anything, I think, personally. You call it a merger, it's just semantics at this point. So, yeah, a lot to talk about there. I'll kind of open it up to you guys. We'll check out some of your comments in the live chat, and we'll see what you guys have to say on the topic. I'm going to scoot back in the live chat. Please do hit the like button as you guys are coming in. Thank you to the 74 who are here watching in the live. Big shout out to the replay gang if you are watching this on replay. Devin says, how do I get out of the contract with DirecTV? You can't really get out of the contract unless you are willing to switch to another provider who will buy out your contract. Ricky says, the biggest thing with satellite TV is people moving a lot. Makes a lot of cost to them to reinstall you. That's true. But it would hurt more if they don't have you anymore. They want your business. That's true, Ricky. You know, it definitely has issues. ACDC says raising prices. That's definitely a concern. Absolutely. They want you to pay for equipment fees up front when cable lets you lease it. Yeah, it's true. A lot of investment there. What's up, Berkey? Good to have you on. Thanks for being here tonight. Cheaper to cut the cord? Of course it is. No operational TV costs. You download an app, you pay a monthly subscription fee, and boom, you're connected. Hometown Custom PC says, hope that they leave Boost Mobile alone. I also have a 10-meter ham ticket holder, and I'll what? I must have missed something. AT&T is scum from Ricky Florida Keys. Yeah, they have some ways about them. They're not the most consumer friendly. We've covered this on so many different episodes of the podcast and other videos. Nathan says, I will switch to T-Mobile's TV side if it was in my city. They're not live in Austin, Texas yet. And the thing about that service, Nathan, is you're going to get a premium experience. It's going to be hundreds of channels. So I definitely agree with you, Hometown Custom PC. Conflict of interest. AT&T owning and operating with Dish in this situation. How do you do wireless that way? I don't think it works. Yeah, Ryan, no webcam today. We're just going with the regular audio podcast. Devin, I don't think you understand. Being scummy and being number one is an LTE. They're not exclusive of each other. They can both happen. AT&T has some of the worst business practices. They raise fees on customers without telling them. They will hit customers with fees that never existed before. They will change all types of cost and pricing without letting their customers know. They'll take money and not refund. They have been known to just consume competitors to get rid of them. It just hurts customer. Everything that they do is anti-customer. So if you are a customer, I mean, the fact that they are scum, that shouldn't offend you or be associated with the LTE speeds. The fact that they have a strong network just means they spend their money on the network. Jarrett says, could AT&T be trying to push this so that Dish will drop out of the merger and so that it will mean T-Mobile will not be able to gain on them? Maybe it's to put more pressure on. Maybe this is a Dish tactic, to put pressure on T-Mobile to sweeten the deal. I mean, we just don't know. Pittsburgh fan says, what's happening? Good to have you on, buddy. Hometown Custom PC says, I've been following most of the live chats. I think that Boost Mobile needs to become their own company. Suka. I like Boost, too, as a business opportunity. The problem is Boost Network and how they operate through a neutered version of Sprint. Keep in mind, guys, that Sprint already in and of itself is a regional national network. The reason I say regional is because they don't have the same type of national coverage that AT&T and Verizon have, let alone T-Mobile. And Boost is going to be a version of Sprint that doesn't have any type of roaming agreement. So people are like, yeah, I have Boost, and it's not the same as Sprint. Indeed, it's not. Boost is Sprint's native network only. There's no roaming agreements involved. You're not getting coverage from any of the T-Mobile deals and Verizon's 1X or any of that stuff. So Boost goes to Dish, Gene, and so does Virgin. All Sprint's prepaid segments go to Dish. What's going on, Two Phone General? Good to have you on. When will T-Mobile's TV side expand to more cities? It needs the merger. There's no way they could do it without it. It really does. Michael says, what does it matter? Satellite is dead unless they raise the low internet data caps. Michael, the reason this matters, it's not so much about the satellite, I think, but the fact that the company Dish would become consumed by AT&T. So what does that do to the fourth carrier in the merger? That's really the issue. Well, it's part of the concessions that the DOJ put in place. So, I don't know what to say to that. If AT&T gets Dish, T-Mobile can run on AT&T towers. AT&T can have Boost Mobile. But that's really complicated. How do you get that to work? What's up, Frankie? Good to have you on. Daniel says, leaving out the Sprint and T-Mobile merger, Dish and DirecTV merging would constitute a monopoly. Yes. Would be unlikely to be approved. True. Post-Sprint T-Mobile merger, there would be no way it would be approved. Agreed. Doesn't make sense. I don't know how Apollo Management Company is figuring all this into play. AT&T pause involved in. What's up, Daniel? Good to have you on. AT rips comes to the office. I agree, man. Awful business practices. All reason why I got into two. Oh, okay. So that's a conversation you guys are having. Oh, no problem, Devin. It's just that's the way we got to look at it. Here on Sneed Mobile Tech, a spade is a spade. No fluff. No sugarcoating. We're not padding anything, right? We're going to call it like it is. AT&T has a great mobile network, first or second in terms of performance, depending on who you ask and if it's rainy or not, what day of the week. It's them or Verizon. I still think Verizon has more LTE overall across the nation. I just think AT&T with Band 14 has really bolstered their network in places they didn't have that type of speed and coverage before. So anyway, they do have a great LTE network. Their 5G will take off for sure, although they will be charging arms and legs for it. But two things can be true. AT&T can be a scumbaggery company. They can also have an amazing network, and I think we all can agree. Yeah, Jason, there is a lot of issue there. I just don't understand what is AT&T's motivation in this. How do they think this is going to play out? It's just crazy. AT&T shut my phone off, charged me $65 and demanded auto pay fee of $10. Jeez. What's up, Jesse? Good to have you on. Thanks for being here. I know Jesse's a T-Mobile guy. He's got a picture there with John. Nice. So Dish will not ruin. I don't know. This really complicates things. 85 in the live. Thank you guys for being here tonight. If you could, please like this video on your way in. And if you're watching this on replay, big shout out to the replay crew. Been with AT&T since 2013. Never had my bill raised in prices, but thank the company I work for, the great discount I get at my plan. You know what, Cameron? I hear people say good things about AT&T occasionally. It's not all bad, but I do hear a lot of people complaining about them. I've seen them raise prices on me before. I left them. They added a $2 administrative fee on one of my bills one time. I still don't know what that means. Increase of $2 administrative fee. So I disconnected. What happens to DirecTV if AT&T decides to dump it? I don't know. They're gonna want to probably off it. You know, AT&T and Sprint are awful in my city, so you got a Verizon and T-Mobile town. Yeah, I agree, John. I think Cameron is one of the lucky ones. I think it also helps that I think he said his company has an account with them or he works for them. I forget what he said. Hometown PC used to work for Time Warner Cable, Adelphia Cable. I remember Adelphia. Don't like either of them. Yeah, they were all garbage. They treat their customers like crap. They raise prices after a year, yada, yada. Just builds up and builds up. A lot of people like T-Mobile, Pittsburgh fan. Jesse or John posing as Jesse. What's up, Francis? Good to have you on. Let Dish put their money where their mouth is. They don't have money. That's the problem, Hometown Custom PC. Dish doesn't have money, which is why they're looking for a merger or an acquisition. Similar situation to what we're seeing with Sprint. So that's the situation there. All right, Code, you're in Los Angeles, California. I know Los Angeles has a couple of carriers are really good in Los Angeles. I know a couple aren't so great. Thank you guys for being here tonight. We have 80 in the live. Much appreciated. If you guys could please like this video and go ahead and say hello to the SMT in the live chat. And if you would like to support production here on the channel, want to make a smaller occasional monetary donation, we've got the PayPal share link. Rafi's got it highlighted there. Thank you, Rafi, for taking care of that. If you guys want to make a donation to support the productions here, be fantastic. Thank you for those considerations in advance. I may disconnect from my Verizon Wireless, take you up on the visible offer. It might help you save some money, Gene, especially if you're a single line. You know, you're paying $40 a month, no taxes, no fees, no nothing, $40. You'll be on the LTE portion of Verizon's network. No 1X, no 3G, no other connectivity, straight up LTE. So when you travel, you know, it's either LTE or nothing. Just something to think about, you know, and most people say it's been fine for them, but it's just something to know. AT&T has a great wired network, 10 megabits per second on fiber, way faster than 10 megabits per second on a copper coax. You know, Michael, depending on the region, depending on the segment of a town, AT&T can offer some great speeds. Unfortunately, cable companies, you know, they like to lock down these regions and then charge customers whatever they want, what they consider to be fair, which could be $100 a month for 15 megabits per second, which is crazy. Looks like this is going to end up as one big monopoly. The nice thing about the that satellite TV monopoly is not many people are really just stuck with that anymore. A lot of people have moved on to streaming applications, which is a very, very competitive market. I mean, there's hardly any profit in it, really. AT&T is good. It's just their scummy business practices. Agreed, Miku. Very, very true. Hope that these satellite carriers don't fade too quickly. There are still people in the rural areas that depend on satellite TV. There's no high-speed internet where they live. That's true. But I think that's where like Starlink and some other companies can come into play and be disruptors. So we're hoping that some of that stuff can really make some waves in the market. Master Bill Lauer, I hope I'm saying your name right, the last name part. Master Bill's always commenting and chiming in. Glad you could be here tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Live in Van Nuys and work in Glendale. Pretty good all the way through. Good. Having problems connecting. Really? Well, there's no video in tonight's podcast. Maybe that's why, Paul. But doesn't visible throttle speeds like cricket. So, Ricky, they lifted the 5 megabit per second speed cap, and they'll give you whatever they can give you depending on priority. So let's say you're in a really strong Verizon area like me. I'm like really, really close to the tower that's right over the interstate, And I can tell you right now, most of the time on Visible, I do a speed test. I'm getting 60 to 80 megabits per second on download on average. I've gotten over 100 on that same tower. The lowest I see there is like 30 megabits per second. And the uploads are usually between 30 to 40. So Verizon is doing their best, from what I could tell, with Visible to not throttle you too bad. They want to give you a good experience. But I will say the problem actually, for me personally, I struggle with the 2 megabits per second for video. That keeps you at about 480p. Once you get up to that 4 to 5 megabits per second, you're getting to that HD area, 720p, 1080p. That's where I want to see more companies going. I want to see companies going away from that type of nonsense where they're sticking it to you on the speeds for video. It's a frustrating point. I think the market needs to be reset on that. In fact, I'm probably going to do a video on that topic. If you guys are with me on that, I'd love to talk about. I'm for this with AT&T. Make it so we all have sides and the line is drawn. Neither right, wrong, or indifferent. Team Sprint, by the way, no vid, faceless. Just trying something different, Frankie. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if it's the MBs that's the problem there. Gene says I get a lot of 1X and 3G or 11 Verizon account here. Gene, I can't tell you to use the Visible service then. 9 in the live. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Much appreciated. Please like this video on your way in and do say hello to the SMT. Gene, you got to be careful. If there's no Verizon LT where you're at, I cannot recommend Visible. But of course, you never know until you try it. So maybe use that code, that referral code that Rafi is throwing around in the live chat. Use that. The service will cost you $20. See if it's something you might like. You never know until you try it. What's up, Cheryl? Good to see you on. John M is in the house. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Gene, you're going to want to take advantage of the LT only. You got to make sure the LT in that area is good. You know what, Code? Verizon's LT availability is second to none. A lot of people, when they switch to Verizon, as long as Verizon doesn't hit them with anything unnecessarily consumer unfriendly, people usually enjoy it. Yeah, they do. They send a lot of stuff to India. I know that for a fact because I made calls. What's up, Alan Dubb? Supporter of the channel, friend of the channel. Thanks for being here, pal. Good. All right, awesome. New lawsuit that I'm hearing about, the DOJ is suing for some reason. In regards to what, Jarrett? Oh, I did see something in my Google News feed. I forget what it was about, though. It wasn't any type of carrier news or anything. The AT&T merger, Daniel. It looks like it's a TV type of merger, but it implicates wireless because of Dish and their potential as the fourth carrier being created out of the merger with T-Mobile and Sprint. So, yeah, AT&T owns DirecTV. DirecTV potentially merging with Dish. It's complicated. All right, cool, awesome. I don't think Dish will know how to operate a cellular company like Boost and Virgin. Well, they don't have. There's no precedence for it. They have no experience with it. But you hire the right people who have the experience, and it can be done. Tried Visible in LA and couldn't do it. Was getting less than. Oh my god, terrible. Wing Alpha. Not familiar with it, Alan. Couldn't tell you what that is actually. I know we talked about it last week, but I haven't looked into it at all. Might be something I could do in the future, but yeah, experience is important. I'll get zero signal at my job with T-Mobile, and yes, I did have problems with texting at times. Wow. Hey, Hideko, what's going on, dude? Thanks for being here tonight. You're not late, man. You're always on time. 3G speeds at home. Oh, God. I'm almost there. Like, T-Mobile doesn't have, for whatever reason, the tower that's close to me just doesn't propagate well to my phone or something. I don't know what's going on. Been talking about the new channel. All right, there we go. If you get Visible, you're going to get constant no service since Visible doesn't fall back on 3G. But see, that's the thing, Hideka. Like, I don't have issues with that. I haven't seen 3G on my Verizon line in at least 3 or 4 years. My area is just loaded with LTE though. So, like I said, if the LTE is good in your area where you work, where you live, where you play, you should be good. But if you are a traveler and you aren't getting LTE, spotty spots on the interstate or something, it's not for you. Wow. You know what, Hometown Custom PC? I would love to see Boost spin off to a private ownership group and be operated as a legit MVNO, not owned and operated by a company that can't figure it out. You know, that's the problem with Sprint. They can't do it. I think the former owner of Boost Mobile should buy the company back. Oh, so you're talking about Peter Adderton? Why not? I would like to see that. What's up, Brock? Good to have you on. Yeah, maybe it is something I have to check out, Alan. Problem is, man, I got like 30 things I'm trying to do, and it's just hard to get to it all. Sprint is killing me in the land right now. Times can't even send the message. I've tried to tell people this too, Phone General. It's all 3G in Cleveland. Like, just way too much. Your phone's in 3G as much as it's got LTE, that's an atrocity. That's just horrible, right? For 2019. Cricket and Metro, in my view, junk. I can't recommend Cricket if you are the type of person that appreciates a higher capacity experience. If you send files, music files, data files, if you're trying to do any type of video streaming at HD quality, like, you don't have a chance on Cricket. And I don't think you have a chance on Metro either. Tech B loves T-Mobile's, had them for a few years, have no problems. A lot of people really enjoy the service too, and they like the experience. My area is loaded with LTE as well. Yeah, that's the thing. If you're in an area with LTE, that's good LTE for all carriers. You have choices. That's what we want. Boost and Virgin use Sprint, so when the merger goes through, they'll be using the new T-Mobile network. Joe DeMarco says, my phone's been falling back to H+ a lot lately on T-Mobile. You think it's due to congestion, or are there towers being shut down for upgrades? I wonder what the situation is. At my new job, Sprint has banned 41, 90 down inside the building. That's really good. And T-Mobile people complaining about their helpful service. Well, that'll be an area that actually helps T-Mobile customers in the merger. Phones are too much money. They're better than cell phones. My area has bad LTE. That sucks. Yeah, I'm in the CLE area, Brian. My OnePlus 7 Pro just received an update that showed supports Verizon Visible Service. Fantastic. Gonna pop my Visible SIM in there this weekend. I have a dual SIM unlocked 12 gig version. I'm actually thinking about getting that phone, Brock. I'm thinking about getting rid of my Google Pixel 3a XL. I really don't want to. I love the Google version of Android. I always love the battery life on this phone, but I'm really intrigued by the OnePlus 7. But I think I would go with the OnePlus 7T, $599. Sounds like a good value. Might be something I might be looking at. Oh, it's been the upgrades. Okay. Talking about bringing out the LG Stylo 5. I have the 5 already. Got it. The phone is one of the best phones that Boost came out with. A lot of people are disappointed in the upgrade from the 4 to the 5. A lot of people are saying that the Stylo 5 didn't offer much from the hardware side. It was just basically a 2019 version of the Stylo 4. It was essentially the same amount of RAM, same specs, same experience. Nothing really changed. Outside, not good, really. Northeast Ohio, yeah, man. Appreciate that, Brian. Yeah, man. I'm a Northeastern Ohio kid, man, through and through. Born and raised in the CLE area, and I've been here. I've been teaching in the Cleveland area for 10 years. Yeah, I'm Clevelander, and big on Cleveland sports too, man. Is the OnePlus 7 Pro expensive? You could probably get a OnePlus 7 Pro now for about $500. What I will say, though, is you might want to consider the OnePlus 7T at this point because it is a little bit newer and it is $599 brand new. We got 89 in the live. Thank you guys for being here this evening and joining us for the podcast. If you could, please like this video if you're watching it on the YouTube. Much appreciated. Thank you guys again for watching. And, do come in and say hello to the SMT. Drop a chat there in the live chat and keep the conversation going here. Who would you go with? Live in Houston, Texas, and considering a switch from T-Mobile, AT&T or Verizon? Well, the first thing I would say, Gilbert, is why do you want to switch? Is it pricing? Is it value? Is it perks? Is it the service? Usually when a person wants to switch from T-Mobile to AT&T or Verizon, it's because the service isn't up to par. And in that case, I understand. But if it's anything other than service, I would question the move. Now, in terms of AT&T or Verizon, I would say you probably need to speak to somebody who's from the area, but something tells me you'll be good with either one. I would pick the one that gives you the better deal, whatever the pricing and the plan is that you want. But I do think we've got some people in the live chat that are from the Texas area, different segments of Texas. Maybe they could chime in the live chat and let us know, and I'll highlight it for you. Yeah, Matt, I'm big on the OnePlus devices. I think they're great. I think OnePlus devices are actually better Google phones than Google phones. Yeah. Tectuan has the OnePlus 7 Pro. It's a good phone. I'll tell anyone to get it. What'd you pay for it, Tectuan? Brand new, the OnePlus 7 Pro. The OnePlus 7 is made by OnePlus. Definitely check it out. It's a very good phone. My speed test on the Discord server points to congestion, but a rep at T-Mobile tells me my area is getting upgraded, but other tells me nothing's going on here. Joe, I will say this. If they're telling you an area is going to receive an upgrade, they're lying. And the reason I say they're lying is because they don't know. There's no person working at a store or a rep that you speak to in customer care that knows when those sites are going to be updated. So they could be right, they could be wrong, but either way, they're lying. Ooh, customs. I like. Everybody check out Hometown Custom PC. Maybe he can build you guys a computer. Check him out. Hometown Custom PC. You started working on the backhaul spectrum propagation. Not really, Jarrett. It's something like, so here's the thing. When you guys had the request for that video, I already had like 5 or 6 things that I had on a to-do list that I wanted to get to. So that kind of went at the end of the list. I'm about 2 or 3 items into that list. So I'm finishing the script on the history of Sprint. I've got to film the video and edit it. And then I've got the band 40, I think it's the band 48 video that I got to do. And then I think there's one more thing. And then I was going to get to that video. So it's in queue, if that helps you. Oppo does. Yeah, it's true. I think they are the parent company. Oppo. Yeah, OnePlus is actually, so the parent company, I think, is Oppo. And OnePlus is kind of like their sister company or something. Spotty coverage. Yeah, spotty coverage, then I have to say I can't blame you, Gilbert. I would go with who gives you the better deal. Something tells me that Verizon or AT&T will be good in your area. My friend used to have Sprint. She couldn't even talk and text at the same time on her iPhone. Holy crap. Sprint needs this T-Mobile acquisition so they could better compete with AT&T and Verizon. Yeah, I mean, it works for both companies for sure. All right, so Hideka's got good experience in Texas. He says, when I was in Houston, AT&T was better. When I had Metro, I had good speeds for the most part and good coverage. Okay. T-Mobile has the best coverage in Denver, but only Verizon offers 5G. And that's not even on everybody's radar, so, the 5G is kind of an asterisk. We'll sponsor them up on. All right, cool. Does anyone remember when Metro was a regional carrier, just like in the Dallas, Texas area only? I don't remember that, but yeah. AT&T is best in Texas, Houston, Dallas, Austin. All right, there's some input from Two Phone General. AT&T is decent in Houston, but it will depend on your area. AT&T is good in West Texas. Speeds are better on Verizon. AT&T I rely on in Dallas-Fort Worth. Michael says, keep your extra money in your bank account. What a waste. 5G tech is still sloppy. I would stick. Yeah, I would wait. Reps know when they get upgraded. They don't know when they get upgraded. Pete, I don't. Satellite phone better than regular cell phones? What satellite phones are you talking about, Minister? I'd ask people you talk to every day. Yeah, the ones that work and live in similar areas. Got 90 in the live. Thanks, guys, for being here. Did you pay straight up for yours, Tech Twan, or did you finance yours to make a difference with T-Mobile? Oh, yeah, Pete does do that. That's true. Pete does all the custom builds on the PC. We got a couple of custom PC builders in the house. Yeah, definitely. We only know when upgrades start. Okay, so you know when. Well, that's better than nothing, I guess. So they can tell customers, hey, help is on the way. Got a couple months, ride it out. We don't get heads up before tower upgrades start. Oh, okay. Do you think Pennsylvania will flip around with the merger? I think it's possible. I don't know. I think Illinois is the most likely. I think Pennsylvania could happen. New Jersey, possibly. I don't know. AT&T and Verizon work best in South Dallas. Good to know. Stick with 4G LTE. I mean, if it wasn't for the channel, I don't know if 5G would really be on my radar right now. I'm not sure if it would be. The thing about 5G is it's so spotty. It's I mean, to even say that cities have it is a stretch. There are cities that have blocks of it, whether it's T-Mobile, Verizon, it doesn't matter. They're all kind of doing the same thing with millimeter wave, and Sprint's doing something different with mid-band, but it's just not enough to make a dent. What's going on, Robert? Good to have you on, man. First time caller, long time listener. Glad you could be here tonight. What's up, Seabass? Good to have you on. In Houston, I get 150 to 200 megs down on average on AT&T. That's really good. Verizon 1 to 220. Wow. That's one heck of a range. The 20 sounds good. The 1, not so good. So from what I understand, Robert, I don't know. People say it depends on the phone. People say it depends on your market. I don't know. That their voice over LTE situation is a nightmare right now. Plenty of upgrades are happening with T-Mobile towers at the moment. Want to know for sure if your area is getting them. I do know that there are some outages when applying their upgrades. Okay. Brian says, if you need anything, Sneed, I'm at the corporate T-Mobile just east of the CLE. All right, cool, Brian. Thanks for the offer, man. And maybe one of these days I'll just come by and visit you at the store, and we can talk. We could talk whatever it is that you're doing there at that location. Maybe you're in sales. Maybe you're in customer care. I'd be interested in that. That'd be awesome. Dan says, speaking of employee discounts, my employer has a deal for massive AT&T discount. Sprint is $5 off the primary line only. T-Mobile's 33% off. Verizon is 20 and AT&T is 80. Holy crap. They're practically just giving it away. That is excellent. I know that AT&T offers a discount with my employer also. But they don't do it for unlimited plans, do they? Huh. Know what all happened, but what was the reason that T-Mobile purchased Metro? It was an acquisition. Right. Satellite phones are huge and cost $3,000. Yeah, I don't know if I'm interested in that. Wonder if T-Mobile Metro has more customers in DFW than AT&T. I doubt it. That's very unlikely. No, when an upgrade goes live, they don't know at what time or schedule they'll finish. Yeah. Well, that's probably kind of like up in the air. They never really know. Anything could happen during, build and assembly and execution. How long after 5G goes nationwide would you recommend to get a 5G device? Max, honestly, if I were you, I would recommend starting to think about a 5G phone like end of 2020. And I'm not even saying buy a 5G phone 2020. I'm saying start thinking about it. Like, who is making the best hardware for 5G devices? Which 5G type seems to be working the best? Because mid-band seems to be the best of both worlds with propagation and speeds. And then low band should offer better propagation and coverage. So in all honesty, that's probably most important to think about. Not just devices, but also the network. Who's got the best 5G offering? Best way to do it, Tech1. Best way to do it, man. Pay up straight up and not have to worry about payments and whatnot. Jean emailed the Attorney General in Delaware, asked her if they approved the Sprint merger. No reply yet. I wonder if they'll even reply. I feel like sometimes they try to avoid certain situations. Brian says, I think PA flips. They need the coverage. T-Mobile and Sprint are spotty there. I've heard people say that T-Mobile in Pennsylvania is very hit or miss. Not that it's bad, but it really should be better. They can give it more attention, that's for sure. Big shout out to Hometown Custom PC. If you guys are interested in looking up a custom build on a PC, you can do it for a great price, offer you a good value. Also, Pete, if you want to shout out your business, that would be great. You could do so in the live chat for sure. I know when cell site upgrades start and finish, built a great relationship with T-Mobile engineering team. They email me or text me the info. That's awesome. It's valuable information. It lets you know what they're doing with the network. Sprint does have voice over LTE, but you must have a phone that will do it. See, that's what I thought. I knew it was like you got to have like a newer Galaxy or you got to have an iPhone, a newer iPhone, stuff like that. Okay. All the four major carriers have good coverage in Central California. They are in a cutthroat market for customers. Hey, and that's what we want, Sneed, you should be seeing a ton of band. Is that band 61 for T-Mobile or band 71 for T-Mobile? I don't know, man. I haven't really been watching it, but the speeds have been good. Usually when the speeds are good, I don't really check the network too much. Should go the next time you need something. All right. SMT seal up meetup. What do you do, Two Phone General? What are we talking here? 80%. What? I know that's such a great deal. Yeah, we're approaching the 60-minute mark. I know. What are we at? Like 53 minutes or something? It's all good. We're rolling. Good show thus far. In the Mentor store. Man, it's not too far. It's definitely a hike. I'm at least 40 miles from Mentor. Maybe 45. AT&T won't allow a discount on their limited plans. So, yeah, what's the point? I'm not trying to be on a bucket plan. If they still do it. So the phone's not out yet, Gilbert, but based on the 17,000 leaks that Google put out, it looks like a Pixel, which is uninspiring in my opinion. I'm sure it'll have a great photography-based camera. I'm sure they've upgraded it. They've done some stuff with, their software magic, and it's going to be awesome. The price is what I want to see, because if they price it right, because remember, the iPhone 11 came in at $700, $699. The 10R dropped to $599. There are a lot of people that are looking at Google and saying, well, you better do something with this price because you're not going to get $1,000 for a phone. They just don't offer enough. Not unlimited unless you're grandfathered from a few years back. Loyalty department can get you more data than the 9 gigs on the website. Have to go through loyalty department. AT&T and Verizon cover Texas very well. I have Sprint and have great coverage and performance. All right, that is pretty good. Waiting until 2021 for standalone 5G to be fully deployed, so that way we get phones that are capable of doing low band to millimeter wave. Yeah, I want to see the full-fledged deployment, the diversity of 5G. I want to see the low band, the mid band, and then whenever millimeter wave is available, get connected for that capacity. Heard that T-Mobile said that they will not upgrade any more towers until T-Mobile knows the final outcome of the merger. So that means 5G infrastructure is on hold. All the the contracts that were panned out for end of 2019, 2020, those all kind of get held until this thing gets sorted out. AT&T works great in Austin. Meanwhile, Sprint gets trash speeds. It's funny, Miko, because Frankie says, Sprint's great in Texas, and here's a location where they're not. I mean, it goes to show you how city to city, market to market things can vary. Congested here in areas of Pennsylvania. Must be like the Pittsburgh area. Paul Boyd said, what's your thoughts on the Fold other than the high cost? It's kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. I think it's innovative. I don't know how mainstream it is. The price is going to keep a lot of people from buying it. So, how high is the adoption rate? That sort of thing. I think another issue also is that it's delicate. And I don't know if anybody's going to be into that. I mean, I throw my phone around all the time. I mean, it's in a case, but I do toss it around. T-Mobile has coverage but lacks performance, so they could use the throughput. Everybody check out techguruhelpdesk.com. Pete does remote and over-the-phone services. Boulder, Colorado area also do a lot in person. Good to know. Big shout out to techguruhelpdesk.com. T-Mobile is decent over here. Sensible prices. I will do incoming repairs and pay return shipping too. We want better than that, guys. Pete's holding it down. Voice over LTE equals HD voice, but HD voice requires latent voice over LTE, meaning bands 12 and 13 usually, which I think is why AT&T and Verizon do the best with voice over LTE. Those two bands are awesome. But T-Mobile's voice over LTE is very good too. It's come a long way. It's good now. It was rough early on. Just got an email that upgrades were going out this week. Have you heard of a cell phone manufacturer called Unimax? Sounds like something out of China that might not be compatible here in the States, so be careful with that. Yeah, we're getting closer to that 60-minute mark. Favorite sports? Football, NFL football. Not a fan of college football. Not really. I guess I like the Buckeyes just because I'm an Ohio kid. I like the NBA. When the Cavs were good, it was easier to follow. Now all the good teams are in LA. Because, they don't have enough good stuff in LA like weather and all the other good stuff. Hey, thanks, Ricky. Appreciate it, man. Have a good day at work. Have a good night at work. Verizon won't offer a discount on limit plans either. Yeah, it's annoying. Google Pixel is software first, hardware first. Yeah, the software is good. The hardware being second, it sucks. Why can't we have both? Military first responders. Yeah, they're though, which is good. I'm really glad to see that, Dan. A perk for those people is well deserved. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it, Gene. Appreciate the compliments. Pixels look cheap. I don't like those phones. You know what, Jonathan? I can get past the appearance if the experience is awesome and the performance is very good. So seems like a lot of CLE people in the chat. We can meet up at a bar, restaurant, talk tech, have a few drinks, whatever. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't even know if people are really into that. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it, but some people are real touchy about that stuff. Let it be. Talk about how long you think the T-Mobile merger trial could last. I don't think it's going to be as long as people think it is. I think they'll have a decision pretty quick, but I think an appeal either way is also likely. So that could drag things out. That's why a lot of people predict it going through 2020. Although I do not. I do not think it will go through 2020. I think a deal will be made eventually, whether it's through the appeals process or in December. I think something will happen. My own little prediction was February, but I think it depends how many states bounce and flip. I think it matters, how the judge sees things, what type of concessions are in place. Maybe the deal gets tweaked and maybe a new component to the dish side, gets created. I don't know. Yeah, 440-216 in the house. New Jersey, Sprint and T-Mobile are king. I've heard Sprint's good out there. Really, really want the merger to go through. Who's with me? I think a lot of people are, John. AT&T and Verizon are congested. Speeds are a joke. Where's my? I'm hiding my face, woman. I'm hiding my face. Nobody wants to see me. Yeah. What's the future of Sprint? It doesn't look good, honestly. They need the merger. Then their future looks fantastic. No future. Run on the LT by Boost Mobile. Use their service daily on computer repair and data. Love the service. Yeah, a lot of people, when it's good in their area, it's enjoyable. If AT&T sells DirecTV, should Amazon buy it or maybe Walmart? Well, it looks, Dan, like a merger between Dish and DirecTV is a possibility. I don't see how this makes it through. It seems like conflict of interest. It seems like antitrust. To me, that merger is not going to happen. But I mean, it's merger season. It's crazy right now. Yeah, he's talking about satellite phones. Okay. What happens to the Lifeline service through assurance? Well, Sprint's in the doghouse right now for that, so I don't know. My Verizon service, I have an iPhone 7. Okay. FCC final decision by October 16th. Trial decision December 9th. Yeah. Those are the big dates moving forward. Looked into Unimax. Looks like an OEM that offers budget phones for assurance wireless customers. Okay. So those are probably entry level. Hi, sorry, took a break back. Welcome back, John. Hope Dish and DirecTV doesn't happen. Yeah, I would hate to see it. I mean, it just consolidates too much business. FCC outlawed United States from using this phone because the app's hardware software make it easy for spies. It's all that Huawei business. I think it's a little bit overstated. I think some of that's kind of overblown. I think some of that's politics, actually, being that it's a Chinese manufacturer, Huawei. So, yeah. Do you think there's any validity about Odell Beckham wanting to be traded? I mean, anytime these new NFL wide receivers, right? I say like this generation, anytime they don't get 10 targets, they start complaining and belly aching. It's like, hey, look at me. I'm open every play. Throw it to me. Like nobody else is open, or the quarterback didn't go through their progression, or they don't have 6 guys that weigh 290 pounds and are fast and huge chasing after you. They're just, I don't know. It's today's NFL wide receiver, I guess. So would we lose our assurance wireless Virgin Mobile Lifeline service if the FCC finds Sprint? I don't know how that's going to work, honestly. If they fine them, they fine them. They could still conduct business. I just think they're going to be over them a little bit more with a watchful eye. I had DirecTV Now for a while. The streaming was actually pretty good, honestly. If anybody's interested in saving themselves $20 on the Visible service, we are in no way, shape, or form affiliated with Visible. They do not sponsor my videos. They do not pay me to say this. But if you would like to save money, there is a referral code right there on the screen for $20 off on this referral code. Use it when you sign up for service or when you go to pay your bill. Save $20 on the Visible wireless service, which is a prepaid version of Verizon. So if Verizon's good in your area, you want to try the service out, maybe you could save some money. There's a $20 referral code. OBJ realized Baker Mayfield isn't what he's hyped up to be. I think Baker Mayfield is pretty good. I think the problem is that line is really bad. And, he's got happy feet and he's wanting to scramble out of the pocket and is changing his reads and his progressions. I think a lot is being overstated about the current situation with Baker Mayfield. This is a team that's new. They were just assembled, a bunch of new talent. Try some patience, young grasshoppers. Verizon doesn't work in Brookville, Indiana. Boost Mobile has excellent service. Yeah, market-to-market basis, right? Yeah, they got the name change. The code is a lowercase l. Okay, so that's for that code. If you guys could, please like this video. We've got 68 in the live. Thank you guys for being here to watch. As you're coming in, please do say hello to the SMT. And like this video if you don't mind. Help the video get some traction out there in the YouTube algorithms and get more people to see the video. Cowboys all the way. No, Cowboys. Actually, I don't mind the Cowboys. I like Dak. I like Zeke. I like the defense. The linebackers are great. It's a good team. Actually, I like them. A lot of hype, but I like them. Jarrett says we should put Letitia James on the Browns offensive line. She likes to try to block things. Maybe she would do a better job of the players on that line. Wow, Jarrett. Yeah, we got 70 in the live. Yeah. We got plenty of people here. Thoughts on the next Pixels 5G device on the horizon? So, Frankie, I got a video on this. I think it might be an early access patron video, but I think it'll eventually make its way onto YouTube. But I cover that topic. My anticipation of the Pixel 4, I think it's just going to be the 4 and the 4 XL. I don't think there's going to be a 5G phone this year. I don't think there's going to be a 5G phone in the spring when the 4A and the 4A XL, we're predicting that to come out. So I don't think it comes out then either. I think it's going to be a situation like with Apple. They kind of wait things out. Google's a follower. They've never been a leader. So I expect them to kind of wait and sit back in 5G until the time is more appropriate where 5G is more ubiquitous. There's no reason in putting in those modems if nobody's going to be paying for the service from AT&T or Verizon, or T-Mobile's not really blowing it out nationally, or Sprint for that matter. Shout out to the people affected by the wildfires in California. All right, so yeah, that's one thing people don't realize is fires are fires and they're dangerous, but the smoke and the combustibles and everything, it's just very dangerous. Hey, Troy, good to have you on. Good evening, Bud. Thanks for stopping by. Carolina Panthers all the way. Playing. Oh, that is a cool game. Is that a divisional game? Are they? I forget. Jared, I just died. I know, right? It's funny. Yeah. New York Giants could use her too. I don't know, man. After watching that game yesterday, I think it's confirmed the New England Patriots defense is legit. The most underrated phone, the LG V50. They beat Apple to a wide-angle lens running 60 frames per second, HDR. It really is a very underrated phone. It is a creator's dream. The audio is excellent. The video is second to none. The battery life is good. The camera situation is awesome. The manual controls. I'm not a big fan of the user experience, like when it comes to the UI, and the whole software, their take on Android. But when I had a V50 in use, it was really good. Oh, the DAC is awesome. Yeah, the audio. Football player does not have to pay his fines because he is donating the money to a hospital. Hey, sounds good. Donate the money to a hospital. iPhone may not have millimeter wave implemented. Okay, so here's the thing with the iPhones, John. Next year, so we're talking 2021. I actually would not expect iPhone to have 5G. There were rumors of it happening when they acquired the Intel 5G segment of their business. But next year is going to be a Qualcomm year for Apple, right? That's the deal's in place. They got the deal done this year, a few months ago. I don't know. I just don't think Qualcomm's going to have a 5G chip ready for the iPhone. They have 5 chip ready, chips for Android, not for iPhone. So that means Qualcomm may never actually offer a 5G modem to Apple. It may be the Intel that they bought, this research and development team and all this, this 5G research side. It might just be their Apple thing, and it's not going to be ready by 2020, maybe 2021. So that being said, I don't think millimeter wave is even the part that's important here. I think it's the part that their iPhones next year won't be 5G compatible. We'll probably have to wait one more year. Now the millimeter wave thing, John. Millimeter wave right now is so bad. It's hard to get connected. It's hard to stay connected when you are. Drops back to LTE from any type of obstruction or, any type of direct connection. It's just really bad. I can't blame iPhone for not jumping on millimeter wave. I think Android users are so used to being on the cutting edge and the bleeding edge of new technologies that they rush out to put this tech into Android phones because they want to distinguish themselves from companies like Apple and what they do with iOS. So personally, I think that Apple's track record has always been to kind of sit back and wait for technology to become mainstreamed. They're part of the mainstreaming process because of their huge over 50% market share here in the US. So that's kind of where I'm at there with that one. Is Apple going to have a 5G device someday? Yeah. They'll be on every carrier. It's just going to be, a situation in maybe 2021, 2022. Now, here's why it makes no sense for them to never go 5G. Like, why would, or never go millimeter wave? Verizon is one of their biggest clients. Why would they not make a millimeter wave version if Verizon's only doing millimeter wave? Jonathan says Puerto Rico T-Mobile is about to be flooded by most of the AT&T subscribers once the postpaid business. Oh God. 1 second, y'alls. All right, and we are back. Okay. It's T-Mobile in Puerto Rico and Canada. I didn't even know if they were in Puerto Rico. I think they extended to Canada for roaming a little bit, but nothing, nationally on their end. I don't see Dish and Direct being approved. It would give AT&T far too much of a cut in wireless pie. I agree, especially if Dish stays in the wireless market. That would be silly. I think it changes everything. I think it really does, but I think it would confirm that Dish just wants to get out. They would use the roaming agreements. They would use the network sharing agreements with the merger, operate it for a few years, then look to sell. I still think that's the most likely scenario out of the fourth carrier, honestly, in the merger. When carriers offer 5G service, iPhones won't be able to offer devices for 5G service. They'll be the last ones to offer it. They will eventually, but they'll be the last ones. That would be amazing, bud. I think that's the best case scenario. Big shout out to the Patreon page for the Sneed Mobile Tech patrons. Check the guys out. We've got a nice community. I think a size of 20-something patrons. Check it out. There's a link there. And also, if you want to get involved with the community on the Discord, big shout out to the Discord gang. There is the link for that as well. And then we've got the SMT Twitter account, which I do my weekly tweets occasionally. I don't tweet much. I'm trying to tweet more. I'm getting more involved on Twitter. So maybe if you guys follow me on Twitter, maybe I'll just kind of start tweeting more and getting involved there. T-Mobile is in Puerto Rico, not Canada. Okay. Be measure some T-Mobile in Puerto Rico this December. Okay, you're doing some traveling there, Pete. Yeah, it is. It's been really, really dry this year from what I understand. And it was a problem last year too, actually. Highly recommend the Google Wi-Fi box to everybody out there. Works for $5. Okay, that is pretty good. Unlimited and PR. Okay. Unlimited, but it's probably like 3G speeds, right, Pete? We are definitely in Puerto Rico, Gene. Hope we get all those customers from AT&T's decision to remove itself from PR. Yeah, and the thing about that is they sold to this company called Liberty. I don't know anything about them. What's the difference between Sprint's OnePlus Pro 5G and the OnePlus 7T Pro 5G McLaren besides the 5G tech? You know what, Frankie? I haven't looked into it. I can look into it for you and maybe kind of reconvene on Sunday for the podcast. Maybe that's something we could talk about. I haven't really looked into it. I know there was a launch event this week. I was just really busy at school and work. And so I have to check into it because it is intriguing. I mean, that's going to be a big time phone. When I went to PR in the summer of 2016, my calls would drop. Yeah. Going to a security conference. Cool, man. Band 71 in Puerto Rico. It's LTE. That's awesome, man. Sneed Tech is my Twitter. Two phone general. Sneed Tech. SNEED Tech. Rafi, maybe you can get that Twitter account thing back up there. Let me see if I can find it. There. Sneed Tech. So there you go. All right, so my goal was to be on here for an hour. I don't know, we're a little bit past it. So I do want to thank you guys for being here. I do want to thank you guys for, getting involved in the live chat. I do want to, give some shout outs, big shout outs to my moderators in the live chat, Pete, Rafi. I think there are a couple other mods in the house tonight. I think John was here earlier. Maybe he's still in the house. If there was any other mods that were in the house tonight, thank you for being here and taking care of those duties. Big shout out to the SMT community. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching all my videos and liking them and, getting involved in discussions and interactions in the comment sections. You're very welcome, Mark. Thank you for being here tonight. I hope you guys, find my videos informative. Hopefully you enjoy the live streams and the podcasts. I definitely do enjoy making the videos and, broadcasting these podcasts. That's a lot of fun, and I do enjoy it very much. Big shout out to Paul Boyd there. Thank you. And Rafi, thank you again. Special thanks to Rafi. Always here, never misses a podcast, always holds it down for us. And big shout out to Pete, always being willing to join in on the podcast and, discuss topics, and it's always a good time. Couple big shout outs, though. Shout out to Ova, the newest member of the Sneed Mobile Tech Patreon page. So big shout out to him as well as the other patrons. I want to thank you guys for supporting production here on the SMT YouTube channel. And, big shout to everybody again that got involved with the live chat tonight. John, Gregory, Seabass, everybody out there, Hometown Custom PC got involved tonight. Gene, everybody, I don't mean to, single anybody out. Two Phone General, all of you guys. Thank you guys for the terrific conversation. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I do have a video coming out tomorrow sometime in the afternoon, maybe late afternoon. Hope you guys enjoy that video. Be on the lookout for that. And again, thank you guys for watching. I am the SMT, and I will see you guys on the next podcast. We'll see you guys Sunday if you can make it. All right, guys, take it easy. Peace.